Young Jeezy's name has surfaced in a federal investigation that is sweeping the country.
Rapper Young Jeezy has been arrested for an alleged shootout.
During the early morning hours, Jay Jenkins was arrested
Atlanta rapper Young Jeezy totaled Lamborghini on Peach.
It was new, me being from the South, you know what I mean? At the time when music was crunk and everybody was dancing, and I came in with, you know, more of a gangster approach, more of a hustling approach. It was new, but a lot of people didn't think it would become household as it did, you know what I mean? I think it was a lot to do with the records that I wrote, but the message was the same, so it was different at first, but they started to understand very quickly.
I need a big kid. I'm going to the floor with good, and everybody know I make it. I need a big kid. You see me standing there like a chandelier, gangster of the year, sipping Belvedere, Inglewood. I'm feeling hella good. Wish he could.
I mean, it's different being on a big tour. I went out with Jay before. Me and Jay-Z co-headlined the tour together. It's different because it's a mix of fans, so you might have people from any age bracket. You know what I mean? Me and Wayne went out before. Me, Wayne, and Drake, we co-headlined. It was different because it was a mix. But I like this type of setting because they're all my fans and they're here to see me. And there's nothing that I really can't do on that stage. And every time we get together, it's like a big family reunion. We just have a good time. It's like when you see people rejoice like they do no matter what they've been through, you know, today or last week. You know what I mean? I think that's the whole point of what I do. You know what I mean? To make them feel different.
See if I can get me off small. I need a big kid. I'm going to Bankhead where they go. And everybody know I make it. I need a big kid. Yeah, I'm out of here. Send you a postcard. And if you're out of there.
Basically, you know, we had CTE for the last, 8-9 years. That's how I got in the game because I was trying to run my own record label and my artists ended up getting arrested and some of them caught some real time, so I was forced into, doing this myself as far as an artist. But CTE World is the rebirth, and we out with the old and in with the new. And our first star child, he goes by the name of Freddie Gibbs out of Gary, Indiana. And right now, all of us are together in the studio working on a project entitled It's the World. So it's more like an album of, all my artists, in conglomerate with myself. And we're making, the type of music you make together when you're a family and you're close-knit. And you really believe and practice what you preach.
What's rough? See if I can pick me up enough. I need a big kid. I'm going to Edgewood where it's dark. See if I can get me off smooth. I need a big kid. Jonesboro South where they go. And everybody know I make it. I need a big kid.
You know what I mean? I've always been a CEO in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? No matter what we were selling. So, it's business at the end of the day. And it's like, I had the foresight to see, how big the business can be. And it just, making sure that, everybody that's a part of what we're doing understands that at the end of the day, this is about feeding your families and kicking the message. So if you understand that, it's an opportunity to make big money. If you don't, then, that's how that goes.
I got my passport and everything. I'm going to the floor with good, and everybody know I make it.
It's a big deal, you know what I'm saying? I started off hustling to have clothes, but now I got my own brand and my own, my own label. And that just shows you, what type of entrepreneur I am. But the clothing is big because when you go out here tonight, you're gonna see people in the clothes, and that's a big deal when you have people that love you so much, they will wear what they think you wear or what you stand behind. You know what I'm saying? We just expanded from, China to Japan. So it's a big deal. We're in Dillard's, all the mainstream stores. Next year, we're gonna do about 50 million straight up.
I gotta leave you alone. She said, I know you bad, but I want you back. She said, makes me so sad that I gotta leave you alone.
You know what I mean? I like sunglasses, and actually we're coming out with a sunglass line. I just always wore glasses, Ray-Bans, whatever shades, dark globes, whatever you call them. That's what we call them in the U.S. And I just wanted my own line. I mean, I'm tired of wearing everybody else's.
Can run through the city, spend his cash on. Wake up in the morning, get my smash on. I don't want much, baby, egg whites. Keep it stomach and your thighs and your legs right. While I'm out here focused getting this bread right. But if the head right, Jeezy the head.
I mean, definitely this last album, you know what I'm saying, was a bit of a break in between, but I was still working. And just to put it out, you know what I'm saying, do over 250,000 records the first week, you know what I mean, and have, 3 #1 singles on one album, you know what I mean, that people, didn't know if it was coming out or, whatever. It just let me know where I stand in this world, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have, like tonight, we here in Los Angeles, California, House of Blues, 2 sold-out shows back to back. They just show you.
You have line around the block.
Yeah, that's for the first show. We still got a whole other show. So I do the same thing twice.
Does it still surprise you though?
Nah, not at all. Yeah, it's just a day in the life. You know what I mean? When you represent what I represent. And, I wouldn't have it no other way. You know what I mean? I came to work, have fun, play, all in one. So this is what I get my excitement and my enjoyment out of. A lot of cats get to this stage in the game, they don't love it anymore because it becomes work. With me, it's a way of life. I would rather do nothing else in this world but this. You know what I'm saying?
Let me reach your mind. And when I'm done with the front, hit it from behind. Love and loyalty never cross the line. Just hit a nigga up when I cross your mind. Show you how to get you on, you won't be watching mine. Put you up on G, show you how to shine. And maybe we can kick it when I got the time. Be my backbone.
Yeah, Fame, Nothing was a good video. We just shot one 2 weeks ago. Actually, we shooting tonight. As we're taping, we're shooting Way Too Gone tonight. Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs on the album. And we just shot Leave You Alone with Neo. Crazy though. The video was a big deal. Like to me, I just think it kind of closes that racial gap that we got going on in our country right now. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that going on. I just feel like, we all in the same place. Let's get it together.
But I gotta leave you alone. Gotta leave you alone. She said, I know you bad, but I want you back.
Just me being a part of that for real and being a part of, the whole culture of when bottles was first being popped for real, and it was the cool thing to do in real life, and there was no music involved other than the music you listened to when it was in the club, when Making It Rain was for real life, not something you just do because it's your birthday or you got a check. I mean, it's something that we did every day, all day, and it was just what we done. I look at a lot of the up-and-coming cats and say, okay, I get it because they saw it and they want to be it and live it, but I done it. I was the creator of it. I was the forefront. I was the poster child. You know what I mean? I was the mascot for all of that. You know what I mean? So when you look at the evolution of Young Jeezy, you gotta know that a lot of these things, a lot of these cats talk about really is my life. If I was a street figure, which I once was and I still was, it would be different because they would look at it different. But when people are doing music, they want to be who you are. So they're like, oh, well, this is what I do. But when you a street figure and that's how you really get down, people are like, damn, where do you get the money from? I want to be like that guy, you know what I mean? Because we was the heroes in the hood, the heroes in the city, in the town. So I just think a lot of the up-and-coming cats, they're getting their chance to get in the video, pop their bottles, and I congratulate them. But, it's not, for us, it wasn't for video, for sure. We don't order bottles when it's video time. Or we don't order money when it's video time to throw money to make it look good. Or order girls because those are the girls we kick it with anyway. Because a lot of people, don't like to deal with the realities of life. So I feel like, when somebody need it and their day, it might not be today, tomorrow, this year, or next year, they're gonna use it. They're gonna get out of it what I put in it. You know what I mean? The message, but they might not need that message today. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody scream free. Let's take these bitches back to 05. Close your eyes, take a breath, nigga, look, Atlanta live. Club vision, PJ in my head, I'm on the couch. Man, this nigga meets this blue $250,000, he bought a house. Man, you niggas gon' lace up your sneaks, it's time to ball. Presidential let the Swiss hotel.
Fame, Fame was a record I wrote. I had it for a while, and Tip had just so happened got home, and we was back and forth on the phone, and he told me to send him something, and I sent him a record at first. It was a street record I thought was cool, And then I called him back. I was like, yo, man, I think I got something better because we was kind of going through the same thing. He was just getting home. I was just, building everything back up and musically and being out. And I just felt like it went with it because a lot of cats can't relate to what it is we go through on a daily because, I did come from the streets, so it's a little bit confusing for me at times because a lot of the people that I see now that's out, I really seen them and know them when I was in the streets. So it's different. Like, you don't want to act different or be different, but it's kind of like sometimes you have to draw the line.
Man, I won't make it home. I'ma wake up in a room, wake up with a hangover. What I spent last night, I could have bought a Range Rover. Got my Ray Bans on, yeah, I see you haters. Keep doing what you're doing, cause I need you haters. She said, what's a cologne? Said you can call it strong. If I had to name my money, baby, I would call it long. Said I'm way too gone.
Yeah, but that's just a part of dealing with fame, you know what I'm saying? But it's cool to me because, fuck it, if I gotta be famous to spread the word, then that's what I'll do. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have it no other way. Some preachers are famous.
We man, tell him bring another sip. Yeah, I know he just left, he gotta make another trip. So hot in here, feel like I'm gon' faint. Even though I'm past my limit, still think I'm gon' drink. I'm way too gone, what the fuck am I doing? Wake up in the morning, who the fuck am I?
Oh man, Young Jeezy in the future, I'm gonna, be what I've been destined to be, the greatest hustler that ever done it. And I've been focusing and preparing myself to hit, some of my bigger goals and be, one of the biggest, moguls that ever done it, and still keep my pride and my respect, and at the same time, change a lot of lives and put a lot of younger cats on that's up and coming and give them some game because I happen to, have a lot of knowledge from, where I came and where I'm headed. So that's just my goals, I gotta be that $100 million man before it's all over with. You know what I'm saying? They can bury me with it, but I gotta have it.
I don't even know her name, she's so caught in the hype. It's okay, baby, cause I'm a millionaire for life. I got bitches on my payroll, they coming back like white. Over Ethiopia, we in Vegas shooting dice. Got a girl at home, I know I'm wrong, it feels so right. On the first row, young, I hope I roll the slip.
You gonna mug me?
I'm not gonna mug you.
Is that gorgeous or what, eh?
And I believe I can run a decent marathon.
Thank you very much.
Download Veely now.
20 miles an hour in my long Bentley. Shame when you hated us what the Lord sent me. Shit, lately I've been practicing my gas face, cause that's what I'ma give them when they land in last place. Hand right by the hammer, ain't too many CNC and so they wanna take my gifts till I wrap them with the fifth. My regular sentence piff, currency and cashmere.
Well, this, for me, I wanted to do this since I was about 10 years old, to be honest with you. So it wasn't like something that I came into later down the line. Like, I was interested in music and hip hop specifically before my time, meaning my influences early on were like Rakim, EPMD, Run DMC, Special Ed, raw bass, third bass. So many different people that I could, off the top of my head, that I can just throw out there that played a big part in me early on, just from watching what my father wanted to watch, And then later on, it came to like Tupac, rest in peace, Big L, and Biggie Smalls, of course. So I've been a part of so many different eras and times in music, even though I'm 28 years old. I think that and I tell new artists nowadays, you have to use those references, use those examples so you know where you're going as an artist. So I didn't really have too many questions about what I was capable of or what I wanted to do, because you had artists like Snoop Dogg, Slick Rick. These are people who character-wise are similar to me. You don't expect too much out of them, or they lay back for the most part, not too animated. And they let me know it was a lane for that. So. And then outside of those influences, most of the most dominant ones were the negative things that were happening around. Like most of the kids, I say kids because I was a kid, the kids that I grew up with, most of them are not here now, whether it's from, being in jail or been murdered, so.
Most hated, most doubted, that's what they shouted. I'm on top now, there's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, better have y'all done, cause walking where I'm from, ain't no way around it. Home sweet home. Niggas see me when you see me, shit I'm always seen. All the Queens magazines, pissy always scenes.
Part of surviving is passing that message on. I think the difference was, well, that time was special. For one, it was a time where, the black market, we come from the underground mixtape market, so it was like a raw energy. It almost felt like you wasn't supposed to listen to this music. Like, that's how direct the content was, reminiscent of like her earlier NWA, just from Southside Jamaica, Queens, and speaking from a perspective of somebody that came from New York City. So the energy was so raw at that time, and everything was like melodic, and it had like a lot of R&B cadences and things like that on the radio. So we came in, it was straight hip hop, no singing, just straight raps through the whole thing. And I think I came at a time where a lot of the wittier rappers came, punchline-wise, and you had your Jadakiss and your Fabulous and your Cassidy. So it started to be like what you said made more sense, was more important. It went to a lyric thing. And I think that's why I stood out at that point, because artists like Biggie Smalls and people like that, they were all lyrical. I had a liking for those kind of artists because I was better with words. Some people are better in producing, and finding the music or overall songwriters. I'm a writer. I write a verse a day since, 11, 12 years old. So I just try to keep that same work ethic.
Hey, excuse me, miss. You must be some kind of a model. Enough to make a shopper run out of the collar. Enough to make a weak go mano y mano. Guess what? I'm strong as rum out of the bottle. God bless you when he made me.
Actually, one of my favorite rappers is MC Lyte.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like Lauryn Hill, of course, but MC Lyte would be equivalent to like the Big Daddy Kanes and those artists at that time, because that's what I just was hooked on to.
That's huge. Has she heard you say that?
No,
to hear you say that.
But that's just my personal opinion. I felt like she was one of the best ever. And with that being said, is you got Nicki Minaj nowadays. It's like wow. For one, we come from the same neighborhood, and for two, we're the same age around. So I'm pretty sure she had those influences. You know what I mean? So, and Queen Latifah also, and Boss. There was so many different, Lady of Rage. There was a lot of different representation for the female. I think that at that time, music was so innocent. Like, you could be that. You could. It was room for a Queen Latifah. It was room for a Lauryn Hill, for MC Lyte. MC Lyte delivery was more like forward. Like I probably can recite her raps and you wouldn't know a female wrote it. And I think that's the key to this, man, to become a chameleon and be able to write records. I write records that a lot of people don't know I've wrote, and I can write from a woman's perspective because I understand them. The same way artists that write records for Usher or Beyonce. It could be a male that writes a record for Beyonce, but that just compliments him as a writer. The mixtape reputation is what kept me grounded. It kept me an underdog to a certain extent. I need that element there. I think people take to things that they know where it came from, a background. When things just show up out of anywhere, they can be going as fast. So the mixtape allows me to have a resume before I even had a record deal. So you can go back and listen to all that material in the fun times before money was even realistically a thought, that we would be well off from music. It was just innocent at that time, and I think that music marks time, so people can, go back and date to where they were at when I actually put that material out. And the biggest difference from then now is that I worked every day since then. So my growth has been so much. Well, if I hear it, I feel some kind of way. Like, oh, man. You know what it is? I never signed a contract. I never put myself out there prematurely. But if you do something every day, you know, consistently for years and years, you get better and better. So I'm pretty sure it's material that if I play 50 from, you know, before Power to Dollar, like when he was raw as an artist coming into the game, he probably wouldn't want to hear it. He might be like, cut that off, you know, because you elevated so much.
I got your mind. It's usually a one-way thing, but baby girl got mine. Perfection is the formula when me and her combine. Like Henny to the corner of your finger looking fine. In due time, I'm sure that I can please you, squeeze you, we need you like you need me, and don't mislead you.
I was in Baltimore one time. The story always stands out. I mean, I was raised, you know, by women, you know.
I can felt that.
What happens outside the house was another thing, but for the most part, you know, my father wasn't around early, so I gave a benefit of the doubt to women that I've come across in my life based off of the women that had an effect on me. So I ended up in a room with this girl, and it was like 10 people in the room before I got in there, and they were like all around her like hyenas, and trying to figure out who she was gonna pick to spend the night with or whatever. And then when I came in, one of the dudes that was in the entourage, he was like, all right, let her decide. And of course she...
What type of nigga would I be to hold you up? You need someone to hold you down and wreck your life's fucked up. I gotta shake out my system, cause with the fucking and kissing and all your emotions next and puts me in a tough position, baby, what am I supposed to do? I can't control my actions when I'm...
And then I ended up in the room with her, but see, I didn't come in there with those intentions. And she said she wanted to talk. So in my mind, I'm like, at that time, I was like, oh, you want to talk? Okay, well, let's talk.
Okay.
So the talk became it went a little more in depth than the usual conversation. And then to the point where she started telling me about, you know, how her life was and how she lived in a shelter, and she kind of like was here to escape the fact of what, you know, she deals with every day. And she asked me, this is after she asked me about where I've been traveling to and the places I've been. And the more I told her, the more sad she got. And I'm like, damn. It was the first experience for me like that. Usually people ask because they, you know, they want to know and to inspire them to want to go to those places. But I told her all the places I've been, and then she brought me back to where she's going when she leaves the hotel. You know, and it was like, wow. So it was kind of like, I think that it happened that way for me because I had interior motives as well as she did. She might have wanted to be with me in another manner, like maybe intimate or something like that, but being that she said she wanted to talk, I took in my mind like, oh, you're trying to insult my intelligence, like, so let's talk. But then in us talking, I got a new outlook on everything. And 'cause the crazier part of the story was, one of my friends stayed in the room, but I didn't know. So, and when she went to the bathroom, because I was like, go wash your face off. She was crying, like, uncontrollably. And so while she went in the bathroom, I'm just sitting there bugging out, like, damn, what did I just get myself into, right? And then I seen, like, the curtain move. So I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean? My friend was under the bed.
Are you serious?
Trying to find out what I say to get the girls.
What?
So that was like the whole thing that I had to rush him out of the room, because through that little conversation,
it was very sensitive. You had to be sensitive.
It went from me looking at her just like another girl to like, damn, you know what I mean? When she told me she was here when she told me my life was exciting enough to make what she felt was not a good life for her for one night, you know, I spent the night with her and just, you know, talked to her.
Nah, I ain't putting nothing out. I smoke when I want a 26-inch chrome spokes on a Hummer. This heat gon' last for the whole summer. Running it faster than the road runner. Rocks on my wrist, rose gold under on my hip. Those throw thunder.
When it's a fine line between a passionate fan, I love people that love what I do, because I'm a fan of so many different things, you know, athletes and, you know, vocalists and things like that, so I can appreciate it. I think that a typical groupie, would you hear that, is somebody that would hurt themselves to get to you, you know, and that's what you got to be careful about, you know, somebody that will put themselves in danger in order to get to you. It's two different things, you know.
I'm gonna lose this game. I've got no poker face. I'm not designed for this.
Elle Varner is a girl that is new, but I've been doing this all my life, singing, writing. I'm here to change the game.
Yes, you are.
I'm here to promote a positive, just everything, positivity, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to be like, oh my God.
How would it be so bold? I can't control my lips. I've never been subtle, and I tend to be too loud, but
like, I've just always been a fan of world music. One of my favorite musicians of all time is Hugh Masekela. I love music. I love people. I love food.
Yes.
I love all these things that influence me. I write all my songs, so everything that I experience is part of music.
all over my skin, everyone knows, gone to the shows, but I don't care. How do you make me
The program I was in is called the Clive Davis School of Recorded Music. So it really covers every part of the industry, from the legal side to the business side to the history of music. And I actually wanted to be an A&R. I was almost gonna be sitting behind a mixing board engineering or at a cubicle, which is fine, but I decided, you know what, get your butt out there and stop. It is crazy. I was playing guitar working in Kochek in college. Yeah, I was working at this club and playing guitar. This kid heard me and was like, yo, I need to introduce you to these people. And next thing you know, I'm at MBK, which I had never heard of.
Yeah.
Turns out, you know, Alicia Keys they manage, and they brought me up to Sony, and that was it. It was literally like I fell out of the sky, because these days, in order to get signed, you either have to have a huge social presence online. You have to either have a huge fan base, something, because it's not like the 90s or even before where you could just develop an artist, and that's what they've done with me. They developed me, and I came from nowhere. I think Only Want to Give It to You is the perfect first single because, first of all, that track is so familiar. That beat, that bass line, something that it's not too like, hey, what is this? Or, it's fun. It's a fun song, the concept of it. I got my boy J. Cole on it.
Thought you were just another Romeo, the shoe you passed by in the store.
I was driving, and it took me a minute because I heard this song, and I was like, wait a minute, this is my song! And it was crazy because the DJ, I think it was Pro Scout, played it over. He kept running it back.
Wow, what a compliment.
Yeah, I was crying the whole night because this is a station that I've been listening to ever since I've been in New York. So it's not like, oh, you just hear your song. It's like something you listen to every day, and now you hear yourself. It's unbelievable.
And I want you more than a new pair of shoes. I only want motion with folks on.
I realized, it's funny because I realized that last night. I watched it again and I said, the only skin of mine that you see in this video is from here up. And that is amazing that I feel like girls need to see that.
Girls do need to see that.
They need to see that. You can be sexy and you can be all that in a bag of chips and you don't have to make it so literal. Like,
I only move in digital motion, but you're so classic. I want you more than my Adidas. All the bees are getting at you 'cause your honey is sweet.
Absolutely, and I have no problem like acting a fool when I see someone that I idolize. I don't care how big. It's honest, and it's such a huge compliment. It's a huge compliment from anybody, but for someone like Erykah Badu or Jill Scott to say, even if like she was like, "Nice work, Lil Mama," I was like, "Oh my god!" It's crazy, and it's beautiful to see that. I've always been scared. You know, a lot of women are catty. I don't know why, but it's wonderful to know that I can be doing what I'm doing and have support of other women, and it's nothing weird or, you know, like
something awkward.
Yeah, something awkward. Like, that's so whack.
Baby, you all I need to get by. You fly, so you all I need to get high. You got it, so put your number in this camera phone, and we can live like the camera's on. No script though. These boys claiming they ball, got no grip though. My flow switch mode.
I felt that number one, I felt that my fans needed some more music. And honestly, the build up to release an album is so tremendous. If you put out an album too soon, it's not. You don't want to put it out and then have people figure out who you are. You want them to know who you are, then put it out.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, for the people that have been waiting since maybe a year, it's just part of the game. It's part of the choice to
give it to you, and I sure do hope that you feel like I do. I said I only wanna give it to you, and I want you more than a new pair of shoes.
I know. I don't know what came over me. I always say like that was my Andre 3000 moment, because I feel like he's a genius at going, you're like, wait, huh?
Yeah.
But that's part of my writing style. I might take something that's this much true or something that happened very simple. I've discovered some things in my life about people that were not honest about what they liked. So I just took that and I put it in this staging area, which is hilarious. But the car being broken into, actually, one night, I found a drunk guy sitting in my car. I left my car unlocked, and he was just sitting in the car, and he was like, I was like, excuse me, what are you doing in my car? He was like, this is not your car.
Really?
And I ran in to call the police, and he was gone he didn't take anything either.
He was just drunk and
he was just drunk, sitting in my car.
Who's been there too long, can't stand up. I should be gone, but I just can't get enough. Yeah.
Pop and Oak, they are incredible. They did almost my entire album.
Except one too many, but right now I ain't even been to Rain Band. He approached me and asked for a minute, was turning to 5 and turning to 10.
Before I get on stage, one thing I like to do is I like to listen to music and kind of just center. And I feel like I take in all this music, and then the minute I get on stage, I give it all back. So it's like I don't like to talk. I don't like to fidget around. Like 30 minutes before, I'm just in my zone and I'm getting into fight mode. You know, like getting ready. But as for my live performances, they just get better every time.
Sensational lush, 'cause I don't know how much is too much, yeah. I feel like the girl at the
glasses, and prints, basically, colors.
Yeah.
Anything colors. I love mixing high fashion, low fashion, like a nice shoe with something from a thrift store.
Yeah.
Or something that's not supposed to go. Or something that's like a normal thing but in a bright color. Like a pencil skirt, but maybe that's bright orange.
Night, all I know is that I'm staying. So can I get a refill? Can I get a refill? Can I get a refill?
I love floral, but woody too. I like something that makes you go, oh, what's that?
Yeah, when
Not
somebody
like,
walks
oh,
past
pleasant. I like something that's intriguing and kind of.
Cause I don't know how much is too much. Yeah, I feel like the girl at the bar who's been there too long. Can't stand her.
This is from Patricia Fields, the same place where the dress from the I Wanna Give It To You video came from. She styled Sex in the City for the whole show. So she's incredible. Patricia Fields and Betsy Johnson are my two top
Oh yes,
favorites.
Betsy's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. I
can
love
understand.
it.
I can understand Betsy Johnson.
Yeah.
It works. I see it.
Yeah, and my stylist, Rory Weiss, has really pushed me in a lot of ways. We push each other because he comes from the glam, high fashion world, and I come from the street girl, Forever 21, like knick-knack world. So we mix together, we come together and create this style that is fresh and it's different.
Can I get a refill?
I want to be a mogul. I want to develop my own talent. I want to have my own fashion brand, lifestyle brand. I want to build schools. I have a nonprofit organization called Diamonds in the Rough.
Let's make it a great night. Been wanting to see you and tell you you're so tight. Yeah, my special lady, you're one of a kind. And every time I see you shine, it's like
my New Year's resolution is to be healthy, be smart, and just be efficient with the music that I make. The video was actually shot at my wife's birthday party.
Oh.
And the story behind that was we wanted to capture the moment of us actually doing her birthday party. And the song was just freshly released around that time, and I wanted to capitalize off of just the whole moment. And it just felt like it would be the perfect opportunity to shoot it. So it was a vision that I had, and it came together. The director, Pookie Brown, put his thing on top of it and, got it whipped and dipped, and now it's out there for the people to enjoy.
so I don't wanna be unfair. Now watch the apple drop and celebrate the year. Yeah, I see you shining way from over there, and all them other girls, now they don't compare. I whisper something bomb to you all up in your ear.
Wet is a very grown and sexy song that was brought to me by a group called the Cataracts out of the Bay Area, and the song just it's a perfect representation of what a woman needs to hear and what a woman is feeling at times. And I'm just trying to make a woman wet, in more ways than one. Not sexually a lot of times, but more mentally and physically, because to stimulate the mind means more than to stimulate the body, and that's what this song is about. It's about, just having satisfaction and having pleasure from the moment it comes on to the minute it goes off.
You got to believe it, son. On New Year's Eve. Can't stop, we won't stop. We can live, baby.
Definitely working with Scoop DeVille, Battle Cat, Denon Porter from D12, Black Mob. Who else am I? David Banner, Neo, Trey Songz gave me a rock, Kanye West, just to name a few. I'm not really into the name dropping. I'm just really into, making music that feel good, that sound good, that really represent, a peaceful, positive message. That's what my music has been representing for a long time. So I just try to stick to the script and, make the music that make me feel good.
Been wanting to see you. You know I see you, bro. Tell you so tight. Yeah, my special lady. You're one of a kind. Yeah. And every time.
What collaboration on here? Probably the one with me and Wiz Khalifa, or the one with me and Too Short and Daz. Yeah, because that's like real nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some throwback music. It sounds like something out the '80s, and it's so appropriate. I mean, I know how to make diverse music. Then I got one with the Gorillaz too, with Damon from the Gorillaz.
Oh.
That's called Something Like This Night. And that's like, that's heavy.
Mix it with that champagne and try New Year's Eve the way we do it at a Snoop Dogg party. Yeah.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because my first couple of records, I started out by, remaking a lot of old, songs and making them my songs. And I felt like this record probably could use one of those songs. And I think I got the perfect song that I'm gonna redo. I gotta get with this particular producer and see if he can bring this to life for me because I think it's neat.
Come rock with Snoop. Baby's a lawyer, her body's the truth. I'm in the game for real, it pays to chill. I walk in the club and they front the bill. I'm the big dog, best beware. You coming with...
I never really worry about, what is and what's not. I just make music, and if my music is good for you, it's good to you. So I just try to put it out there for people to have the option of, being able to choose it or whatnot. And I don't ever really get concerned with, am I going to offend some people or am I going to really lose some fans? Because if it's good, it's not about losing nothing, it's about staying intact. And one thing about me, when I do collaborations, it tends to make more people aware of who I am and what I'm capable of doing, as opposed to me staying in my lane and just doing hip hop and doing regular raps that I'm so accustomed to doing that people know that I normally could do. But taking a stretch, like reaching out with a Katy Perry and putting together a song that became a hit record, that to me is just a regular song to me, because that's all I do is make music that makes people feel good, but it makes me feel good first and foremost. And when it's appreciated like that, you can just say that it feels good to still be appreciated for so many years.
Damn, when it reached the max, what you trying to drink? Clear yak, she got an apple bottom, homie, all I do is mac. I does it well, your game is whack. I gets to the business, no chit chat. Now where do we go? I beats the good.
Now Justin is my little homeboy. I'm down with him, like it is the thing to do, but I don't know if his people want to see him in the studio with me making a record, because it take a whole lot to be in the studio with Snoop Dogg. So, but I would love to see what it would be if we was to go to the studio. But I got a little homeboy that I'm working with named Pilot from the DPG, a little 15-year-old homie from Eastside Long Beach. He's featured on my new album. So, I got a little thing with the kids. Me and him, we do our thing in a different way, a little bit different.
The chief rock, I smoke good with T-Pain and Snoop the weed doctor. Big 808, now feel the bass in your chakra. And watch me smoke like a shotta. Coke bottle shaped like green eyes. Drunk off of love like a Coke 45. I keep Kush in my lungs.
Nah, I can't even sit there and say that I did, because I never really knew what a brand was or focused on the brand. I was more about music in the beginning, just trying to make the dopest music and, follow the script on what I wanted to be, and that was just a dope rapper. And once I learned, the aspects of the business and what business was, through my teachings, by being around Master P and being around, smart people and savvy people in the business who showed me the things to do or either the things not to do, I took that amongst myself to say, I want to try to grow and become more than just a rapper, but become a business. And the first thing to be in the business is using a brand name to become something. I said, why not, make Snoop Dogg the brand name and not go for something that was unbelievable or unreachable, but use me as the face and the mogul and the one to push and promote, because can't nobody sell it like me. Yeah, it is. But you know, I never had no doubts. I had doubts before. You know, before I was discovered, before I was able to, you know, get in the studio with Dr. Dre and get my confidence all the way up. You know, being with someone like Dr. Dre takes away all of the doubt and all of the disbelief because you with the greatest to ever do it. To me, he was always the greatest. You know, from the moment I met Dr. Dre, he was like the Quincy Jones of rap. You know, just because of what he did and how he did it. And I just felt like once I got with him and he got with me, that I could do no wrong. And it was not about disbelief. It was about making him sound the dopest that he could sound through my pen by me writing for him. And you know, if I'm gonna get in from writing from him, that's all I want. I'm cool with writing, but you know, from eventually writing for him to writing with him, you know, my light was able to shine by him taking time and saying, you know what, I'm gonna bless you with a record for you blessing me with my record. And bringing my team and using your pen. So, you know, I got my blessing and, you know, continue to roll on and, you know, keep it moving and help other people and, you know, do what I do because that's what it's all about giving back and not being selfish and not being about yourself, but about helping others.
One way we can stop the drought. Come with me, can take a trip down south. I can tell she's thirsty. I'm in the hole like a birdie. What you wanna do tonight? It's still early. Wanna get spooled tonight? She's all sturdy. I'm in between your lips like a cigarette.
I'm engaged in a lot of numerous projects, a lot of television things that we have on the table that we're trying to get developed that aren't really, you know, to life as we speak, but I really want to get back on the TV side.
Yeah.
I really want to get back in the movie side, but I really want to have my hands on it. I don't want nobody to give me a script or give me ideas. I want to do my own thing because just like with my music, never has it ever been someone telling me what to rap about and how to rap.
Yeah.
It's always been an effort where I've been in control and I told people around me what I wanted. And that's what I feel like my movie and TV career needs to be about. And every time it's been that, it's been successful. But, you know, when you're in Hollywood, they don't want to release that power to us a lot of times. Like you could be a big rapper, but you're not a big movie star. You're a big movie star, but you're not a big music star. So it's like, it's a give and take. And they don't respect the rapper in the movie TV world so much because there's so many of us who's gotten in without going through drama school and all that. We just got in because we good at what we do. So it's a lot of hate towards us from what we do. So anytime you got that type of situation going on, it's real difficult for us to stretch and grow and to create things. So me personally, I try to create things that feel good to me and give opportunity to people who I feel like deserve it. And the TV and the movie side is what I really, really want to do. But if I can't have control, I'll stay away like I am right now and just make records.
I just want to get you wet, wet, wet. Drip, 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 drip. For me, mommy, can you drip, drip, drip?
Well, my oldest son was playing football maybe about 8-9 years ago, and I was just a father on the sideline watching, and I asked could I volunteer my help, and then for me volunteering, I eventually became a coach and coached him, and then coached his team, and then let him move on, and then start coaching his little brother, and became, you know, fascinated with it so much to where I created my own football league, and it's just what I love to do. I love to be around kids. I love to coach. I love to give back knowledge and to save lives and to help kids do the right thing. I mean, this is something I really get a kick out of. When I'm coaching football, I don't do no rap shows. I don't do no TV. I don't make no money. I just coach football and I get the kids something that they can look up to. And it just feels good to be able to put my music TV career on pause and give them some real life lessons.
Pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot. I got the rollie on my arm and I'm pouring Sean down and I'm the best cause I got it going on. I'm a nice dude with some nice dreams. See these ice cubes, see these ice creams.
I'm coming to do an Africa tour where I'm coming to probably about 15, 16 cities because I owe y'all. I dedicate my life to coming back to Africa and seeing the motherland up close and personal. You dig?
Yeah, that's how you get it. Killer with the B, I know killers in the street with the feel to make you feel like chinchilla in the heat. So don't try to run up on my ear talking all that raspy, trying to ask me when my figure they ain't gonna pass me.